Hey, 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 ladies. Or should I say, ho, ho, ho. Merry Fitness. It's your girl, Natalie, the Keto Bikini Pro. And it's Christmas week. What up, fam? Your girl got a killer pump in the gym today. I'm pumped up. And I want to help you get pumped up, especially if you haven't been feeling very pumped lately. If you're feeling a little bit down, if you're feeling like you're already failing. Oh, you know how much I hate that word. If you're feeling any kind of feels about how well you have or have not shown up for yourself and your goals over this season so far, this holiday season. So let me pop this out. I do not have notes today. I do not have a formal outline of anything because tonight it's a pep talk. And it all comes down to one message I want to give you tonight. And I'm going to go into the Facebook group. I have that pulled up separately so I can look at the comments that y'all shared on this topic. I asked y'all to tell me anything specific you want me to address tonight, or just anything that you want to share about your holiday season so far, any struggles you might be having. So I have some comments in here. I want to make sure I address some things that were brought up that I think are so important and powerful things to focus on. So I'm going to dive into that in a minute. But first, let me just say hi to those in the comments on here live with me. Drop a comment if you're on here live. Let me know where you're checking in from. And feel free to share anything that's going on in your mind, in your life right now in the holiday season that relates to this topic. Anything you might need a pep talk about, and I'll add it to what I have to say tonight. So, hi, Dana. Juliana's able to join us tonight. So awesome to have you here. Jody is on. Who else is on with us? I know Karen was hopping on. I usually see Karen on here, so she'll probably be hopping on at some point. Cool. Thank you. My shoulders are popping. Juliana says that's because I did shoulder day today. And y'all, it's crazy right now. This is crazy right now. And that is because your girl is staying lean. We're getting the lean gains. It's the best holiday season I have ever had in my own health journey. And that is why I wanted to do this topic tonight, because we are 2 days before Christmas when we are filming this, when we're having the live. And whether you celebrate Christmas or anything else this holiday season, happy holidays to you. I am feeling so liberated. I am feeling so confident. I'm feeling so secure in my own journey, in my body, in the way I'm feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. And I want to sprinkle some of that on y'all if you're not feeling that right now, because I've been there. I've had many a holiday season that have not gone the way I wanted them to in one way or another. I've had seasons where I've been binging through the holidays, binging and purging through the holidays, just not treating myself very well, getting ill, getting sick. I know some of y'all are dealing with that. Our Coach Mary Grace, our own academy coach, Mary Grace, is very ill right now. And y'all, she just confirmed with me today that she is positive for the C word. So give her some love, send her some juju through the interwebs so that she can get well. I hate that this happened to her literally like right before. This was this morning, the way she woke up. So whether it's illness, whether it's you just haven't been showing up the way you wanted to, whether, your health is taking a back seat, whether your fitness is taking a back seat, whether your diet is taking a back seat, or whether you're just feeling down emotionally, mentally, for whatever other reason. That's what tonight's topic is all about, because you don't have to feel that way, and you can do something about it right the F now, fam. You don't have to wait until January 1st. You don't have to wait until next Monday. You don't have to wait until the day after Christmas. My big message to you tonight is, wherever you find yourself right now in this moment as you're watching this. You can change the tide right now with your very next thought, your very next action, the very next opportunity you have to sit down for a meal, the very next opportunity you have to either be lazy or move your body, the very next opportunity you have to put someone else before you or to take a moment for yourself. You can change it right now, and your whole next week and a half, 2 weeks leading into the new year can be a million times better than they would be if you allowed that little voice of self-sabotage to get in your way. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. No deep dives, educational, anything here. It's just get it together. You can do this. Don't have a pity party. Pull up your big girl panties and let's make ourselves feel the way we deserve to feel. You all deserve to feel amazing. Amazing every single day of your lives, regardless of what season it is, what day of the week it is, or what else is going on around you. You deserve to feel incredible physically, mentally, and emotionally. And there is no one responsible for that but you. It is 100% within your control to make yourself feel good. Are you ready? Let's chit chat. I think I'm going to keep this on for the whole call. And not just because I have gym hair, but the whole chat. Mind you. Well, whatever. I don't know what it's doing. Y'all, this is so funny. I happen to have this hat. This is my childhood bedroom, by the way. I mean, it didn't look like this growing up. They redid it when I moved out for college. But this was my childhood bedroom from the time I was probably 12 years old. This hat was in that closet and I just happened to see it in there. And this was like some little thing I designed that was my name at one point in time with glitter that I must have made. I don't even know how old I was when I made this hat. So that's too funny. I just happened to find it in there. So decided to be Santa Nata Claus tonight. Coach Nata Claus tonight. All right. I am super giddy for some reason. Maybe because I just ate some chicken thighs and lots of extra salt and olive oil. So I got a good pump and then I came back and ate after being hungry and grocery shopping, which don't usually go together very well. But I didn't buy any junk. I didn't snack on anything. I came back and I ate some chicken. And now I'm a happy girl. So, all right, fam. Let's get into some of these comments in the Facebook group because I want to address specifically the things that were brought up. I'm going to start with my girl, Kaya, who shared. I want to read this verbatim because y'all, those who know me, those in the academy in particular, you know what I'm going to pick out of this comment, the statements and the words, because words have value. Words have so much value. All right, check this out. She says, so I am not feeling defeated, but my brain is telling me to just not do anything but get through the holidays. Eat almost whatever, slacking on physical things. So many people say just start now, including me. I'm telling you to just start now. But I'm waiting for January 1st. I need a hard line to start on. Guess what? A hard line can be today. A hard line can be tomorrow. A hard line can be, what day is it? December 23rd. A hard line is whatever you decide it is. You don't need the first day of a new month. You don't need a Monday. That mindset is holding you back. And I told her I was going to address this tonight. So that's the first thing. I need a hard line to start on. That is a belief system that is not serving you. The question here is, how is that working for you? I guarantee the answer is not that well. That's a belief that's time to challenge. All right, so I need a hard line to start on. I have to get my mindset and my schedule ready ahead of time. Guess what is ahead of time? 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, an hour from now, one night's sleep. Tomorrow is a new day. It is 7:18 p.m. 8:18 p.m. can be your hard line, and it's in the future, so you can get ready ahead of time. It's time to start challenging these thoughts. Okay. I feel like if I try to just start, I won't be organized enough, and it won't give me that sense of discipline I need to keep going. I bet y'all could guess, my ladies who know me, what I'm going to pull out next. I feel like, this is how she starts the sentence. I feel like if I try to just start, ... Do you know what comes after that? Whenever you start a sentence with I feel like, the rest of it is a lie. The rest of it is stories that your limbic emotional brain is telling you to keep you where you are, to keep you from being able to make forward progress or make any kind of change. So that is a little gem I want to drop for y'all, because if you do nothing else and you take this right now and you take this gem and you put it in your little jewel box, this right here for the whole next year, if you say this is my one resolution, is to catch myself every time I say I feel like, your life will change in the next 12 months. You could give yourself a 30-day challenge or a 7-day challenge. How many times can I catch myself saying I feel like? Celeste says, every time I say I feel like, I hear your voice now. That's what I want. I want y'all to hear me like bitch slapping you when you say I feel like. And it's the like part, okay? There's nothing wrong with identifying how you are actually feeling. But I feel like is not describing your emotions. When you say I feel like, do y'all remember from English class, similes and metaphors? I feel like is not truth. It's not facts. And Cindy said it right here. Feelings aren't facts. Whatever comes after I feel like is not fact. It is emotional BS. So it's okay to say, I am feeling. Try taking out the like and notice how the rest of that sentence will change when you take the like out. I feel exhausted. I feel overwhelmed. I feel tired. I feel angry. I feel upset. I feel sad. Identify the feelings. But I feel like is a bunch of crap. Whatever's coming next is not true. So I feel like if I try to start, I won't be organized enough. Dig into that. Here's your homework, Kay. Dig into that. Why would you not be organized enough if you just start? What would keep you from being organized? How organized do you need to be to make a solid decision the next time you put food in your mouth? How organized do you need to be to decide whether or not you're going to move your body today? How organized do you need to be to decide to take a moment for yourself and do some breathing before you go into the next busy thing that's on your schedule? What is happening with these thoughts is you're making being healthy or getting healthy or your goals, which y'all know how much I hate the term my goals. It's just so vague. It doesn't mean anything to anyone anymore. But when you're thinking that pursuing your goals needs to have a 30-point plan with 10 objectives underneath each one and 5 action steps under each one of those, and all of that needs to be written down and then needs to be on the schedule and everything needs to be planned out 30 days in advance. that is nothing but keeping you from taking the first step or the next step. That's all that is. So, what is organized? This is what, y'all, this is going to be almost like a little workshop. It's like when I talk about challenging the thoughts, what you're trying to do is catch them, say, okay, that statement is meant to sabotage me. So let's break down this statement. What is my emotional brain actually telling me right now? It's saying you won't be organized enough if you just start now. What does that even mean? What is organized enough? Define that. Get some clarity, because clarity provides truth where there's otherwise lies and falsehoods that are trying to deceive you. So, what is organized enough? Qualify that. And then she says, it won't give me that sense of discipline I need to keep going. What is giving you discipline? Ask yourself that. What do you think, what is your emotional brain telling you you need in order to be disciplined? It sounds like you are giving the power away to having this organized plan and schedule, that's what's going to give you discipline. That's not where discipline comes from. Discipline comes from here. Discipline comes from here. Within you, you are the one that creates the discipline. The discipline has nothing to do with your schedule, with your plan, with what is happening around you at any given time. The discipline is I'm committing to doing something and I'm following through. Discipline is a decision. And it has nothing to do with circumstances. So, where is your discipline coming from? You are the one that gives you a sense of discipline, nothing else. Now, next up, she says, I'll keep saying good enough with quotes. I am a planner organizer. LOL. Here's another thing I have to pull out. A couple of things here. First, I'll just keep saying good enough. Good enough. I think what you're referring to here is the limbic emotional brain's use of the term good enough to say, F it, to say, we're going to justify some poor decisions. Good enough, because what happens, and this is kind of like a little precursor, y'all, for the Grace and Grind Challenge. For those who have done the challenge before, you understand a little bit about what it is already. For those who've never heard of it, next week I'm going to do my monthly Ask Me Anything, and I'm going to do a little overview all about the 2025 New Year's challenge. This is what we do every year. This will be the third year doing the Grace and Grind Challenge. And it is all about finding grace within the grind, not giving up on the grind, not saying I'm no longer going to grind. I'm no longer going to put in the work, but I'm committing to doing the work while also learning to give myself grace within the process. Because what happens is the grace, we use the term grace, we use this term good enough to justify poor decisions for our health, things that are leading us away from our goals and not toward our goals. There is a way to have grace to actually not beat ourselves up for not being perfect, while at the same time not justifying things that we could be making better choices in the moment. Okay, none of this is to say that I expect anybody to be perfect and crush it and track macros perfectly, never skip a day, and be dialed in within 1 gram of every macro the entire holiday season and never miss a workout. That is not what I'm saying here at all. But this good enough, what happens is it perpetuates, and these poor decisions lead to the next one and the next one and the next one. And this is why you find yourself 20 pounds heavier on January 1st. And many of you undo the work that you've worked so hard to do with weight loss, fat loss over the last 6 months. You'll undo it in a few weeks. and you'll be back to where you started from because you kept saying good enough. So there's another piece of that sentence I wanted to pull out. She says, I'm a planner / organizer, LOL, with a little silly face. What you're doing here is, number one, you are making a statement about your identity that in this case is not helping you. In this case, saying I am a planner, organizer, means I cannot make forward progress. I cannot take action until I have a well-designed, thought out, planned ahead, organized plan. And all that is doing is delaying your action taking. So in this case, calling yourself a planner organizer is not beneficial to you, and it is not helping you make forward progress here. So it is a dangerous identity to associate yourself with. And I would strongly encourage you not to use the term I am in this case. This is where you may need to revisit the beliefs. Because if you always need a detailed 10-point plan that you've thought about a month in advance or 2 weeks in advance or whatever, you're always going to be waiting 2 weeks or a month or 7 days or whatever it is to start the next thing. And that's not always necessary. I can tell you that also as a business owner, because that held me back for a long time in business. If I kept saying to y'all, oh, you know, I can't provide that resource that my clients have asked me for, or I can't launch that program that everybody's looking forward to. I can't do Grace and Grind until I have a whole marketing plan, and I have this and I have that, and a social media strategy. And then next thing you know, I don't even do Grace and Grind this year because I didn't make my plan. Like, yes, I'm going to write down, okay, and make some decisions about the big things that need to be decided on. But we shoot ourselves in the foot when we say, I am, and I have to have this, that, and the other to be able to be successful. It's just putting obstacles in your way. The next thing is the LOL. I got to call this out because I see this a lot. I see it in check-ins. I see it in client check-ins. LOL or ha 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 written in a check-in. Do y'all know what that means when you do that? When you laugh at something you say about yourself or about what you have done or not done, it's a defense mechanism. I see it all the time. If you catch yourself laughing about not following through on what you said you were going to do, notice that this is a defense mechanism, and you're doing that to make fun of yourself. Excuse me. I was just reading. I was looking at Juliana's comment. If I make fun of me, not me posting LOL 3 comments above. If I make fun of me, you can't. Yeah, 100%. That's what she said. Exactly. She's like, yep, 100%. It's a defense mechanism. That's too funny. Now, I don't remember what I was saying before I started reading her comment in the middle of my sentence, but if you notice yourself laughing, especially when you're describing something serious, right? Of course, we can laugh at ourselves. We want to be able to laugh at ourselves and not take ourselves too seriously. That's actually a very important part of healing when you're doing things that are not, that are harmful to yourself, right? But when we're like in a check-in, right? Or in this situation where you're describing, what you're struggling with over the holiday season. And then there's a ha 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 in there or an LOL in there. Notice there's something to be looked at. It's actually a great sign. It can be a little sign for you that, hey, I need to look at something here because I'm kind of trying to brush something aside and make light of it and laugh at it to kind of sweep it under the rug. But it's actually something serious that I actually need to look at because it is not helping me be where I want to be. So, Kaya, you said that's what you'll be up to this weekend, planning. Well, today's Monday. So you're now already counting on not doing a damn thing this week to move yourself forward in healthy choices. And you're going to put it off until next weekend so you can make your plan. And then you'll probably put off executing the plan until January 1st. So now we're talking 10 days ahead in the future from now. How much farther do you want to delay your progress? And not only are you delaying your progress, but what you're doing is you're deciding to take steps backwards. That's what's happening with this emotional brain right now. You're letting yourself off the hook now so you can do whatever, and she said it, almost eating almost anything, slacking on physical, which I'm assuming she means not training, not moving her body, not doing cardio, not doing any kind of workouts, right? What this is doing is saying, you're off the hook. I'll think about it after Christmas. Now what's going to happen is from here until New Year's, the next 10 days, you're actually going to go backwards. When you could at least minimize the damage and decide, hey, what I'm not going to do, because I'm going to be realistic about my goals here, is I am not going to decide that now is the time that I need to lose 5 pounds. Because let's be real, now you're climbing uphill to try to say, I'm going to cut through the holidays. That is going to require more of you than you maybe have to give right now. So be honest with yourself and be realistic. But what I don't want you to do, and the reason I'm doing this video is because I don't want any of you to give up on yourself now. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't throw in the towel. Because what you will end up doing is backtracking. You're not going to stay where you are. When you make that decision to let this voice of sabotage win, you're not going to stay where you are. You're going to go backwards. And then what I want you all to think about and ask yourself, how do I want to wake up on January 1st? How do I want to wake up feeling the day after Christmas? The day after New Year's? Every day between now and New Year's. How do I want to feel when I open my eyes in the morning and when my feet hit the floor and I get out of bed? Do I want to feel vibrant, energetic, happy, peaceful, joyful? Do I want to feel strong and capable and confident in myself and secure in myself? Do I want to physically feel well in my body? Or do I want to wake up upset, depressed, exhausted, inflamed, bloated, disappointed in myself? You have, is it 10 days? Today's the 23rd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days. Wow. 8 days, y'all. You have 8 days between now and New Year's. That's over a week. Every single one of those 8 days matters. Every single one of those 8 days counts. Every single one of your 365 days in the year matter. It matters how you feel walking around every single day. I lost hours and days of my life to binging and purging, to hiding, to sneak eating, to stomach aches, to headaches, to all of the inflammation that was caused by the crap I was eating and not moving my body and sleeping in for half the day because I stayed up all night. And it hasn't been alcohol for quite some time now, but at one point in time, it would be alcohol. Whatever the thing is for you, whether it's eating one bite of gluten, whether it's eating one bite of dairy, whether it's eating too much of even something healthy, or not eating at all because you're running around crazy and putting everybody else first. Whether it's staying up late, drinking alcohol and feeling like crap the next morning and then losing half the day. Whatever that may be for you, because it's going to be different for everyone. What slacking looks like, or what, relaxing on your diet, or whatever that may be. I talk inside the academy about, making your plan for the holiday, for the individual holiday, and then making your plan for, looking ahead. What do I have? Let's say we have these 8 days left. What do you have in front of you? What is on your calendar? What are you doing for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day? What are you doing for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day? What are you doing over the next weekend? Because that's in between the two holidays. So you probably have stuff going on then. Do you have travel? Are you being social? Do you have social events? Look at that calendar. Maybe there will be some surprises, but at this point, most of you probably know what's happening in the next 8 days. There's nothing stopping you from getting ahead of it and making a plan. And a plan does not have to be 30 steps. A plan can be, here's what I'm going to allow, here's what I'm not going to allow. Here's my non-negotiables. I looked at my week. I am here helping my mom with her broken leg. By the way, she says hi. She's down eating dinner right now. So I knew that my intentions going into this week were to be of service to my family, that I would put business on the back burner for now. I would put social media on the back burner for now. I'm not making plans to try to see all of my friends in Georgia while I'm here. I had one amazing KBB meetup the other night. And then my bestie and her husband came over for brunch. So that was like our couple of social events that I knew I was going to have, that I was able to plan in advance for, to say, and not far in advance, mind you. We made the plans for the KBB dinner literally the day before. I didn't say, oh, I didn't have time to plan, so I'm just going to eat whatever at the dinner. No, it was, let's pick a meat house. We went to Uncle Jack's Meat House. I got a 14-ounce ribeye. I ate the whole thing. We got pork belly. We got octopus and, the hanging bacon. And we shared those. And I made that plan ahead of time. I ate leaner earlier in the day so I could really enjoy and allow myself to eat the fatty things that night. I didn't even look at the menu. I'd been there a few years ago, but I didn't look at the menu. I had a vague familiarity with the menu, and I just knew that I wanted to save fats for that meal because I knew I didn't want to deprive myself of delicious fatty meats. I also noticed when we got there that there were sweet potato fries on the menu. I very easily could have just excused it and said, hey, I'm still stage lean. I can afford it. Let's go for it. It's Christmas, blah, 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 whatever this emotional brain wanted to say. Was that tempting for me? Because y'all, that is like, I can't even call it my kryptonite anymore because your girl conquered it. You can conquer your kryptonites. There was once upon a time when if there were sweet potato fries on the menu, I would order them every time. But I could decide, you know what? I would rather be able to eat that 14-ounce wet-aged ribeye and not have to feel bloated and uncomfortable and inflamed. And I knew I had to drive 35 minutes home because it wasn't that close to where I live. All of these things, you can challenge the thoughts and then come up with the important reasons why it's not worth it to you to do those things without having a ton of time in advance to write down a very intricate, detailed plan. So all that to say, You are probably familiar with what the next 8 days hold in terms of what's on your calendar, who you're going to be seeing, who you're going to be socializing with, what the situation around you is going to look like. So make your plan now. It doesn't have to take that long. Allocate 5 minutes, 10 minutes to thinking and planning about even the next day. If you do it once a day, if you do it before your head hits the pillow at night, or even better, first thing in the morning before you dive into everything else, what's going on today? And how can I get ahead of what's going on today so that I can make solid choices for myself? In the midst of the moment, you can check in with yourself. You can do a mini check-in anytime. Thinking ahead tonight, right? It's almost 8 o'clock here on the East Coast. When I hop off this call, I'm probably going to have a movie night with my mom tonight. That's what we've been doing every night since I've been here. I also know I'm going to be staying up a little later than usual, which means I'm going to be waking up a little later than usual because I'm not going to deprive myself of sleep. That happened one night here, and I was like, oh no, this is not happening again. So now I have a hard stop. I have okay, normally my bedtime is 10 p.m. I will allow myself midnight. One night it became 2 a.m. and then I still woke up at 7 a.m. the next day and I was like, oh no, this can't happen again. So then I pulled it back to midnight. And this is what I'm talking about when I talk about grace and grind, y'all. What I mean is you have a blunder. That happened to me with the 2 a.m. bedtime and then not getting enough sleep that night and then waking up and saying, okay, well, I'm awake, can't get back to sleep. I made the choice to just stay up and not try to force the sleep. And I thought about it. Great, this is going to mean I'm going to get tired earlier tonight and I will be that much more ready to go to bed earlier. Instead of, you're so stupid, you're so dumb, why couldn't you just stick with the plan? You didn't stick with the plan. Well, now everything's screwed, so you might as well just stay up till 2 a.m. every night and eat dessert at midnight. And right, like logically, that's not the way that works. The logical brain would not decide to then just continue doing the same thing over and over again that did not serve you well. We say, okay, this is what happened. What's next? This is something I shared recently in the Academy, one of my feedback videos. What's next? Wherever you find yourself, whatever's going on, whether you've been beating yourself up about it or feeling down about it or whatever it might be, I want you to ask, okay, that happened. What now? What now? What's next? That's all that ever matters. You cannot control what's in the past, but you can control what happens next. And by next, I mean the immediate, very next thing. Not tomorrow, not 7 days from now, not 10 days from now. Next, the very next moment. You can reset, pull back, take a deep breath, and make a better decision one moment from now at any given time. Whether you are in the midst of stuffing truffles or cheese balls or whatever in your mouth, you can pause, take a deep breath, and decide to put the next one down. You are capable of that. So stop letting yourself off the hook, and especially don't do it in advance. Don't say, Christmas is 2 days from now, Christmas Eve is tomorrow night, so I might as well wake up and eat cookies for breakfast tomorrow. And then continue doing that every day from now until New Year's. Is it amazing to plan in advance? Absolutely. Does it help you be more successful? Absolutely. But if you find yourself in a situation where you did not plan in advance, what other choice do you have but to make a decision in the moment that will serve you well? Not cry over what you didn't do yesterday to prepare yourself. I'm grateful every day since I've been here that I did decide the morning of the day I was flying out. I had to leave my house at 10:30 in the morning. Luckily, it wasn't too early for my flight down here. And I decided at 9 a.m. to make an extra batch of protein gingerbread. And I did that. Literally, it got done right before I stepped out the door to go to the airport. And I left the fresh batch. I grabbed 2 little gingerbreads to eat on my way to the airport, and I left the rest for Bronson, and I grabbed all the ones that I had made the day before to bring with me. So I have had my protein gingerbread. That has been my little treat with my coffee every morning that keeps me on point. That's a big part of understanding and knowing myself, and knowing that when I'm at my parents' house, they have a pantry full of stuff I don't eat. And usually, well, in the past, I've gotten into all kinds of crap that they have in there. But usually for me, it's things that I don't normally eat at home, like nuts. They always have some kind of really yummy raw nuts, like they have pistachios and walnuts. And then I bought some pecans when I went to the grocery store. But those are the kinds of things that I know if I overconsume nuts and seeds for a week or more at a time, then it will start to create some inflammation in my body. But having a little bit here and there, I know is not a big deal. So it's still a go-to that I can have. So I've been having a little bit of that in the morning, measuring that out with my gingerbread and my coffee. And that has been like the most enjoyable little treat in the morning. Back in the day, I would have totally eaten chocolate and cookies for breakfast just because it was Christmas time. That's like bullshit stories that this emotional brain would be saying. Doesn't mean I have to listen to it. I get to change the narrative. So, okay, let's dive into another comment here. Mary, I wanted to get into this because this was a similar language thing that I wanted to address. Y'all, I want you to hear this one. How powerful these words are. Mary says, I am feeling sorry for myself. What used to be my strength, I am now using as, oh, well, no one cares for me. Now listen to every single one of the next statements, how they start. I am alone and get to carry everything by myself. I am truly alone and will defeat myself. I am not worthy of self-love because I do not get where I want to. I get injured. I do not finish my work. I do not support my husband enough. I do not support myself enough. I am not a superwoman. I am not succeeding financially. My life is a mess. My house is a pigsty. I am not capable of overcoming myself because 3 times I was at the precipice and 3 times this year I failed. Maybe I am not supposed to succeed, only be here to cheer on others so they can succeed. And then she says, I need to breathe. Yes, you do need to breathe, love. Yes, start with some breaths. But let me just tell you, these things that you wrote here, these are identity statements. And they are so incredibly destructive. They are so self-deprecating. Anyone who reads or says these words would feel hurt, down, depressed. Making statements like this is very, very dangerous. And I know you've been doing the work, love, because she puts it in her check-ins. She puts exact opposite statements to this in her check-ins. Affirmations, about the identity she wants to create. So, Mary, I know you know how much power is in these kinds of words. And I'm going to ask you to never make these statements about yourself again. Because that right there is planting very deep rooted seeds inside of you that will grow if you water them. Your words have power. Please, please do not ever make statements like this about who you are. That is not who you want to be and how you want to show up in this world. She says that is what I mean by self-pity. Yeah, what she's saying is these are the words that the emotional brain is saying to her to make her feel bad about herself. These are the statements, Mary, that I want you to write down. Well, you wrote them all down for me. So copy and paste these and put these on a sheet of paper or Google Doc or something. And then I want you to counter every single one of them. Because what you need is the rebuttals. It is now time to find the rebuttals because this is the lies of the limbic brain. And I want you to find the truth. Because all of us that know you, Mary, we know this isn't you. We know this is not you. It's not who you are. And this is just what I was talking about with Kaya, the planning and organizing, right? We are nothing that we do not decide that we are. And I know you don't want to decide that you are these things. So I want you to I do want you to use them. She said, listening to you helps me realize that I will burn them as I will not use them. No, don't burn them. I want you to pull these out and I want you to dig into each and every one of them. And I want you to find the lie and I want you to find the truth. And I want you to write down the truth about you. And once you've done that, once you've crossed out all of these and you've written what's actually true or what you are creating, because sometimes we're not there yet and that's okay. But connect with who you want to be and write that down. If you're not feeling it right now about yourself, think about the Mary you want to be and write that down. Each and every one of them. And then, sure, if you want to burn that old list, do it, but not until you have rebutted every single one of these statements. The only one I get and I can understand and I can support is I am not a superwoman. And that is true. None of us are. That is 100% accurate. You are not a superwoman. And maybe try writing, I do not have to be a superwoman. I do not have to be a superwoman. That would be a good rebuttal to that one. Because whoever said you needed to be, that's what that emotional brain is saying, that you should be, that you need to be doing all these things perfectly. And we all know there's no such thing. I get injured. Now that is not an identity statement, but I would shift that to I got injured. You got injured. You do not get injured. What you don't want to do is now project that over your life. You got injured. It happens. It happens to everyone. It doesn't have to mean anything about you. Find some evidence because I know you'll be able to find evidence against these things. I do not finish my work. Is that really true? What probably happened was there was a project or a piece of work that maybe you didn't finish. And now you have that front of mind. But the truth is, I want you to think about every project you have finished, every piece of work that you have finished, and you can refute that. and say, no, that's not true about me, because I have evidence that it's not true. I have finished things. I do not support my husband enough. I do not support myself enough. I want you to qualify. What does that even mean? Enough is a very, very elusive kind of a thing. It's one of these things, and Kay used it too, right? I won't be organized enough. What does that mean? The reason why our emotional brain uses words like enough is because it doesn't mean anything. You could apply that to anything and never feel enough. By the way, that is the core wound that we all battle with. So at the end of the day, if you do inner child work and you're peeling back the layers and trying to understand where things came from, what we get down to is ultimately, I am not enough. All of these things eventually drill down to I am not enough. It all stems back to that, and it came from something. For all of us, it's different. But this enoughness, we need to quantify and clarify what we're talking about there, because when we're not clarifying it, that's what will never make it enough. I love this. Bubbles, see, my girls know each other. She said, girl, you replaced the furnace. You do finish. Thank you. I couldn't do that. I've never done that. I have zero evidence that I could ever replace a furnace. Compared to many of us, Mary, you are already a superwoman. So you see where, and if you read her comment, you'll see how it gets more and more and more dramatic. And what that is the spiral. And I love that you wrote this down, actually. I love it. And this is something actually that would be great homework for any of you to do who have noticed this like defeatist mindset of like, maybe you've never identified the thoughts before, or you've done a little bit of that work. But I love that Mary did this, because if she had not written these things down, we could have not gotten into it. So if you're just feeling blah or down, or you can't put your finger on it, and you're just kind of like going through the motions of the holiday, and you've kind of let this go and you've let that go, and it's starting to snowball, I want you all to identify what the thoughts are that are driving the behaviors, because we never, ever act without a thought preceding it. Behavior doesn't just come from nowhere. There's always a thought. We just may or may not be present to it. And I can promise you all, the only reason why I'm in a completely different place right now than I was even last year at the holidays, and I've been doing this 13 years, something like that, probably more now, but been on this journey a really long time. And y'all, this is a different feeling. I shared this on our Zoom call for the Academy last week, but I'm just so liberated, and I want to like bottle it up and like give it to you to drink, because it feels so good. And I know that you can feel this too. And some of you are feeling this. Some of you are also on the other side with me. My girl, Stephanie, she made a comment on here. For so many years, the holidays have been a struggle for me. This year, I feel free, physically and mentally strong. I don't feel temptation, restricted, or defeated. I know Stephanie's journey. I know what she's talking about. She's been to a lot of where I've been. And I wish I could properly, accurately just describe to you all how good it feels, and that I truly believe every single human being, every single one of you, every woman who has ever struggled on this journey of health and fitness and relationship with food and relationship with your body, that you can get here. You can get this feeling. And it's what I wish for all of you. Shout out to Stephanie. I just love where you're at. I know what you're feeling, girl. I'm right there with you. And I want it for all of you. But it's not going to happen until you address what is up here. There is no meal plan. There are no macros. There is no diet, not even freaking carnivore, not even lion diet, ladies. There is no diet that can do it for you. The gym isn't going to do it for you. It is the only way out is through. And what I mean is walking through this, what do you even call it? Shit show that is your mind. This carnival, this crazy carnival, walking through hell in gasoline draws. That's what it feels like going through this thing when you haven't really done it before. But it's all on the other side. All the good stuff is on the other side. Okay, so let's wrap this up with a little present, a little bow, and send you on your Christmas merry way. All right, here's the pep talk. Long and short of it is, you're not done. You're not counted out. You haven't failed. There are 8 more days between now and New Year's, and every single one of those days could be better than the last 8 or the last 365. No matter how long you've been down, no matter how far you have strayed from the path, you can take the next step back toward the path. And you can do it in the next moment, in the next minute, in the next hour, in the next day. Stop waiting. Stop putting it off. Do it now. Hey, Mama Grasso joined. Oh, she says, Merry Christmas and a very happy, energetic, and fit new year. Kudos to you all for making the effort. Venture forth, y'all. That's how I'm going to end it off tonight from my mama. She's over here with a broken leg. Y'all, I don't want to put her age out on here, but let me just tell you, she's a lot younger than the years that it sounds like, right? Age is just a number. And she has had, I've been very impressed by my own mama for her mindset around it all. It is what it is. I'm going to do the best I can with it, and we're going to make the most of it. You all can make the most of the last 8 days of this year. Do not set yourself up to wake up on January 1st feeling down and disappointed in yourself. You can wake up every single day for the rest of this year and January 1st feeling like a freaking boss. The CEO of your body, as I like to say. Be the CEO. Pull up those big girl panties. Talk yourself off the ledge. Identify the thoughts and challenge every one of them. Every single moment. You deserve it. I love y'all. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, New Year, all that good stuff. I love y'all. Do something good for you tonight. Or if it's in the morning for you, today. You can do it. I believe in you. Bubbles, I love you. Karen, I'm proud of my journey. Gonna find my new way in 2025. We're here with you. We love you. We're sending you all the love. And to anyone else who's lost someone this year and that this holiday season just doesn't feel the same, you'll make it. You can make it. Okay, you can make it through. I love you. You deserve to treat yourself well. Every day. You are worth it. Each and every one of you is worth it. Have a wonderful, happy, Merry Christmas season, and I will see you. I'll see you before 2025, because next week we'll be back with my live Ask Me Anything. I will be dropping some questions, some call for questions in advance, so y'all can drop anything you want me to talk about next week as we get ready to lean into the new year. And I'll be sharing all the fun deets about the Grace and Grind 2025 challenge then. So I'll see y'all on Monday. In the meantime, for those who do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. I hope it's a beautiful, wonderful day and that you feel proud of yourself when you wake up the morning after Christmas. Take care of you and your loved ones. Good night.